I believe that there are people that walk in this life and thinking that masturbation is not a problem. But some people don't realize that there's a sin that you can't commit against your own body. They think as long as it's not hurting another person, it's harmless. But what it's doing is you're hurting yourself. Let's be honest here, man. What does masturbation does to a man? Masturbation is not just a physical thing, it's a spiritual thing. What does masturbation does to a man is it made you feel weak. It take the strength out of you. It make you feel like you don't have a purpose. It make you feel like you're worthless. It keeps you stuck in the bed. Let's go to the church. Let's talk about the church. Why is it that Christians love to avoid the topic when it comes to masturbation? They don't like to talk about it.
You try to be a clip, and now you want me to be a clip. I'll tell you the reason. Because they doing it. Whatever you don't correct, you justify. Think about it. Let's talk about Pharisees. I just learned yesterday when they came to Jesus and said, why do your disciples transgress the law? They don't wash their hands before they eat. You know there was never a law in the law of Moses that had anything to do with washing your hands when you was eating? They made that up. Oh, okay, so what you trying to do is trying to look more religious than everybody. That's why you hide all those open wounds behind that suit and tie, behind that pulpit. And you lay hands on people. And then they fall out, not because they caught the Holy Spirit, but because they caught your burden that you've been hiding from. So what are we talking about? So yeah, the church, the reason why they don't talk about it, check that pastor's search history.
Welcome to the Unmasked.
We're going to help somebody today. So first episode, we talk about sexual immorality. And, you know, what we talked about what is sexual morality, what God expects from us and what God commanded from the beginning. We talked about the effects of it. We talked about, we name dropped. And one of the names that we dropped was masturbation. Now, masturbation is something I feel like both men and women struggle with, but I feel like men struggle with it more.
Yeah.
Most definitely. I feel like men have been exposed to masturbation. Like for me, I'll give a little bit of my testimony. So, yeah, I never told nobody this. Look, y'all lucky I love y'all. I'm about to expose myself. So, at the age of 9, I was exposed to porn. And I actually got caught watching porn, actually, by my father. Whooped the mess out of me. At the age of 12 was when I first masturbated. How I even found out about masturbation. I remember, it's crazy how I remember the exact YouTuber and everything. So there was this YouTuber. His name was Uber XR Nova. He was this old YouTuber from like 2012, 2011, around that era, 2010, and he was playing GTA 5. And the dude, like GTA has this like type of animation, and I would see that they would do it to themselves. And I was like, well, it wasn't like GTA was showing me anything, but it was just like they would just do the motion right in front of their meat, they crotch. And I was like, and then he kept saying, oh, why he jerked, and I was like, what is that? So I took it upon myself to go to the bathroom, and I did it. When it happened, I would just stare down. I'm like, yo, what the heck is this white stuff? Like, what is this? But then not understanding that obviously it felt good in the moment. So I started repeatedly doing it over and over and over and over again. I was exposed to masturbation before I was even exposed to sex. Well, I was exposed to sex through porn, but I'm talking about physically actually having sex. So from 12 to like I'll say 15 when I actually eventually lost my virginity, and how I lost it was because when I was in church, I didn't want to even lose my virginity, right? But I was like, listen, we can do everything else though. You feel me? I was that type of Christian. So what happened was around that time, I was in a relationship, and I was also watching porn. And mind you, I used to watch porn on the website, but bro, this is how exposed I was. One of my homegirls at the time showed me porn on Instagram. Not only that, I was also exposed to Twitter. I was also exposed to YouTube. There was a dark side of YouTube at that time. So around that time I was watching it, and I always envisioned myself always wanting to do that. So what happened was I went to my girl and I was like, yo, I'm ready to do this. I be watching this stuff. I want to know how it feels. Went, bought a condom because I understood that condoms was, to protect you and stuff. Bought a condom and we tried. Took each other's virginity. After that, that was like my sex partner for like however many years after. And then through that, I stopped masturbating because I was already doing the action of sex, so I didn't need to. But the times that I would masturbate was when, my sneaky links or my hookups wasn't available, or if I was just bored in the house, or if I was just in the mood to just do it. And I realized that masturbation was something that I was struggling with, but I didn't see it as a problem because I was having more sex than I was masturbating. There was times where I can stop masturbating because I'm having so much sex, I don't need to do that to myself. Right. So eventually, I stopped, and that's around the time of, it was early 2022, but then the last time I had sex was October 5th of 2022. That's around the time I started getting saved. So that was the process of my purging, my call, and everything. When I came on the walk, I literally went cold turkey. I never masturbated again after that. Then I got into a relationship, and I did something that I wasn't supposed to do. Ended up slipping up, and what happened was it created the desire again. It literally it's like breathing life into something that was dead.
Yeah.
Right? So I resurrected that thing, and then it started becoming a habit. And then I started having the wet dreams, and then I started having, these thoughts, and then I would go. But porn was already dealt with. I haven't watched porn in probably like the past 4 or 5 years because I was being promiscuous. But when I got saved, because I knew porn, I didn't like porn, I didn't want anything to do with porn, because then I would be in a bigger trap. I would just do it just off of the thought of me masturbating. And then I started realizing, I keep doing this thing. And the reasons why I kept indulging in it was because I realized it was a safe sex sin. What I mean by that is, because I wasn't doing the action of having sex with a person, I used masturbation as an excuse to still get the nut off, but without committing a sin. So it was ignorance in the midst of that. Eventually, I broke free from it. But then I fell back into it recently because, not the habit, I fell like probably once or twice. And because a habit is only something that you do a lot.
Yeah, like every.
So
yeah.
Exactly. So when this happened again, it wasn't the fact that I was watching anything. It wasn't the fact that I was engaging in like pornography or in conversation, but it was because the desire rose up again because I was playing with the desire, which allowed me to fall. So that was kind of like my come into masturbation moment. And I'd never really understood why masturbation was wrong until it was explained to me by my cousin. So I want you to kind of give a premise on like what is like wrong about masturbation and why is it still sexually immoral?
That's a good question.
And my fault if I just ran. I just
Nah, that's fine. That's fine. Testimony is very important, right? I believe that let's go before we even give our life to Christ, right? Let's talk about people that actually live in the world without knowing Jesus. People that there are people that walk in this life and thinking that masturbation is not a problem. Because people think that doing wrong means you have to physically assault someone before it's pronounced wrong. But some people don't realize that there's a sin that you can commit against your own body. And people don't think that's a dangerous sin. They think as long as it's not hurting another person,
that's good.
It's harmless. But what it's doing is you're hurting yourself. Because masturbation, let's be honest here, man. We're going to be very vulnerable. Honesty, right? What does masturbation does to a man?
It puts on, I feel like, to me, masturbation gives the person the same pleasure and feeling of if they were doing the action of sex.
Okay. That's just the physical thing. But we have to go in the spiritual realm. Masturbation is not just a physical thing. It's a spiritual thing. It is a spirit of lustfulness, right? A person who has a strong desire in their heart to do things that is not godly. But a lot of people don't realize it, right? So you're probably going to say it's not their fault. But if you're educated on it, you will know things. What does masturbation does to a man is, if to every man that's ever masturbated, let's be honest, it made you feel weak. It take the strength out of you. It make you feel like you don't have a purpose. It make you feel like you're worthless. It keeps you stuck in the bed. And then when you're done doing that, you feel like you don't want to do anything. Now laziness start to creep in. Then procrastination start creeping in. So it's now you feel like you don't have a purpose. Even if you feel like you have a purpose, even if you're a wealthy man and you masturbate, you're going to start slacking. And that's what masturbation does to every single man that ever masturbated. There's a big, and it's not just a physical thing. It is a spiritual battle.
Right.
It's happening in a spirit. There's an evil spirit there convincing that person to keep doing what they, even as a child, I don't even know what they're doing. They're just doing it for self-pleasure. That spirit wants that child to constantly keep doing it because it's going to affect them, maybe not now, but later on when they grow up. It's called building a muscle memory. When you build that muscle memory, it's hard to detach from it. Right? What happens when you're a good athlete? You just want to dunk. You can do it effortlessly. It's a muscle memory, something you have practiced over and over and over again. So for LeBron James to detach from his greatness, it's kind of almost impossible because it is something he's been doing from a younger age. Muscle memory, muscle memory, muscle memory. But instead, what the Bible wants us to do is muscle memory in righteousness. But what most men do without realizing this is they're doing things constantly, consistently, creating things, muscle memory in a wrong negative aspect. And that's how the enemy captures us. A lot of men. Because the enemy want us to be stuck, want us to be stagnant, want us to not be productive. As a man, if you're not productive, you're not walking in your purpose with God. Because what happened to Adam when God created him, he was walking in purpose. God created everything in the garden, and God's purpose was you name these things. You name that. You name this. At that time, Eve was nowhere to be found. It was just Adam, God, garden, and purpose. And that was his main goal. And he had no distractions. And then when Eve came, he even named her after his own flesh and bones. She was already, she did not help him figure out his purpose because there was already purpose in the garden.
There's purpose there.
All she was there to do was what? Help. Now, if a man is distracted, was it distraction in the garden at that time? No, this is Satan was nowhere to be found. He didn't tempt them, none of that. So no distraction. Purpose was perfect. As a man, it is our duty to have a purpose. It's our duty to walk in godliness. It's our duty to align our actions and character with God. It is our purpose to fulfill the purpose of God. Right? Now, that's where masturbation comes and plays a huge part. Bro, this is one of the most dangerous things a man can do. It might just be worse than unforgiveness. So unforgiveness is bad.
Talk about it.
All sins are bad. There's no special sin that's higher than the other. But masturbation, bro, because you're defiling yourself. You're actively cursing yourself. Do you not love yourself that bad? That's how it says this. You might think you love yourself, you actually know yourself than you think you do, but you actually don't. Because if you actually love yourself, you do the things that will actually make you progress and grow. But why do you do the things that's not progressing and helping you grow? But rather you're doing the things that's keeping you comfort and stagnant and distracted. So it shows that God loves us more than we love ourselves. Why do God love us more than we love ourselves? He's our creator. He's the one who knows every cells in our body. Every veins in our body. So that's why he loves us more than we love ourselves.
That's good. That's real good, bro. Yo, because you said something, and I want to ask a question about it. So you said a person usually when they masturbate, right? They sin against their bodies, and on top of that, they feel weak. They
yes.
feel they lack of purpose and stuff like that. So when a person's in that state, right? Because here's my question: do you feel like a lot of people, when they go through this episode of masturbation, where do you feel like it comes from? Like, what is it that causes them to continue falling into this cycle of masturbation over and over and over again?
That's a great question. I'm going to talk about it. What causes a person to keep falling in the same circle over and over again, right? Even if they don't want to do it. One, what is planted in their heart. We have desires. Every single man on this planet have desires in their heart. Two, their eyes. The eyes plays a key role to why a person keeps falling short, right? Three, the thoughts. What you're thinking of. Scripture said we must win the battle in our mind before we start winning the battle in the physical realm. If you're on Instagram, because we know men do this a lot.
Yeah.
You're on Instagram. You look at a woman, she's very attractive. All right? She's well pleasing in your eyes, and you're just there looking at her. It takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 seconds for Satan to be like, okay, he desire her. Let's plant thoughts in his head. Just 10 seconds. You look at her for 3 seconds and move away. He's like, okay, he's not interested yet. But when you start staring at things, visualizing things with your eyes, and start seeing things, 10 seconds max, boom, locked in, you're done. Satan now capture your mind, your thoughts, your intentions, and your desires, and then he plants more into it. He fumed the fire. Now what it's going to cause a person to do is now, out of nowhere, you're just having a lust for thoughts, a lust for desires. Why? Because you look at something 5 minutes ago, maybe a picture, you just looked at it and you was there for probably 10 seconds. And now Satan is just all he's doing is planting seeds. So everything you're feeling, it's seeds that's been planted by the enemy. And now you're feeling that desire, that lust for desire. Boom, out of nowhere. Even as a child of God, or you're godly or ungodly, you're feeling the exact same thing. Right? And when those seeds start growing, so help me God. If God grace is not upon you, or it's not, you're going to fall.
That's good.
And when you fall, it feels like you can't get back up. Bro, there's so many different sins you can commit. And you might think you can get back up and just move on like it never happened. But is this one sin against your own body?
That's good. Yeah. That's real.
Against your own body. Why do you feel trapped down? Why are you weak?
Right.
You can pick up a rock, but you can't pick yourself up. Why? Masturbation.
That's good.
Bro, to every man that's watching this, it's not easy when it comes to masturbation. It's not an easy thing to just go through and wipe it away. It's a stain. It's like, bro, it's a weight and burden on your shoulders that you need to take off, and you cannot take that off without Christ.
That's good, bro. I think at the root of masturbation is a suppressed emotion. And what I mean by suppressed emotion, this is from the Holy Spirit, bro. He just gave me a crazy
Go
image
ahead,
just
bro.
now.
Drop it. Drop the mic.
We treat sin like a jack in the box.
Say that again?
We treat sin like a jack in the box. You know what a jack in the box is?
Nah, bro.
I'm about
Elaborate
to show
me.
you.
Dang. I've been living on a rock. I need to come out the house.
I'm crying. Hold on. Hold on. You said they can see my screen, right? Yeah. All right. Hold on.
Oh, that's...
Hold on. Let's see what they play with it. Ready?
Oh, that's a Jack in the Box.
It's Jack in the Box.
Okay.
So let me tell you why sin is a Jack in the Box. Because nothing happens until you start playing with that wheel.
Oh, the will is what
Exactly.
causing. Okay.
But there's something deeper behind that will. It's a suppressed emotion. Mind you, the reason why that Jack in the Box ain't come was because nothing was turned yet. But because, you know what I'm saying, we like to play with things. Like, for example, oh, you know what? I got the Holy Spirit. I can watch this for a little bit. Oh, I can be around this person. They won't tempt me. They won't do nothing for me. Or there's times where we literally have the emotion of lust in our heart and we suppress it. Because, mind you, the only thing that's keeping that Jack in the box is the cover.
Right.
But there should be no Jack in the Box. Because even if I play with it, nothing should come out. But because it's a suppressed emotion, that's when we fall into this habitual sin of masturbation. Because we are suppressing lust and we're suppressing sexual morality, we're suppressing the feeling and emotion of having sex with somebody. Because it's the difference between suppressing and oppressing. Oppressing is when you're getting pushed down. Suppressing is when you push it down. A lot of us are not trying to get rid of sins. We're pushing it down.
I have a question. Because now you mentioned suppressing. A person has a lustful heart, desire. But like, nah, I don't want to act on it, right? I want to honor God. I want to respect him. I don't want to give into sin. And now they're trying to suppress it, like not give into it, right? Is that them honoring God? It's like, yo, God, I respect you. I love you. Like, my heart desire, I really want to do this sin. But because of you, I'm not going to do it what my heart desired. Is that you suppressing it? Or is that you honoring God?
Give me that water bottle. That's a great question. Is that mine? Here, mine is on the joint. You good? Hand me the water bottle. Ayo got hands.
That boy play football. Bruh. That boy needed water.
So, to answer your question, you said, I'm only not doing this because I want to honor God.
Yeah.
This is the problem with that. You see that? See how it's growing? Just because you suppress something doesn't mean it went away.
So it's gonna come back.
So it's going to grow back. If you're doing things off the strength of God, it's good. But yet your heart is in the wrong spot. Because you're suppressing something does not mean it went away. Because truthfully, what you should do is crucify that thing. Because here's the thing. Shout out to my boy Anthony. There's a difference between a planting and a burial. They look the same, right? You know, you use a shovel, you dig, you put something in the ground. But the difference is you put something in the ground for it to grow, and you cultivate it, you water it, and then you put the other thing to rot and die there. A lot of us, what we're doing, we're breathing life into something that's trying to kill us. So therefore, because I'm trying to just suppress this because of God and not trying to get rid of this thing, shows me that I'm lazy. Just because look, burying, all I have to do is throw it in the dirt, cover it. I don't have to water it, cover it, or nothing. But when you plant something, guess what you got to do? You got to check on it every single day.
On it.
You got to water it every single day.
Yeah.
You got to have the right direct sunlight on that thing every single day. It takes work to plant something. It takes no work but to bury something.
So that comes down to this, right? A lot of people pray. Let's say a lot of Christians that pray, Lord, take this desire from me. Take this away. We don't want to go through it. I'm tired of it. Right? It might come off. Maybe they know what they're praying for, but based on what you're saying, right? Oppressing something is like a person praying to God, saying, Lord, take this desire from me. Right? Versus crucifying it and say, Lord, work with me. Right? And we know, Lord, work with me. It's not an easy task.
It takes work.
It takes work, right? And a person who is dealing with who masturbates or go through that aspect of playing around with their sins. But let's say they don't really, they desire to do it in their hearts, but they don't want to do it just for the sake of honoring God, right? What is the difference between crucifying that desire versus oppressing that desire?
So the difference between the two of killing something and suppressing something.
Yeah.
The difference between killing is I don't expect that thing to come back.
Okay. Good point. But you say if they suppress it, it's gonna come back. That which means me saying, God, I really want to do this thing, but I don't want to do it because of you. That's according to you.
I would say suppressing is this. Suppressing is, all right, I'm doing this just because of you, which is not a bad thing. There's a lot of things that we should do because of God. He loves us, so we should love him. We have to sacrifice. But also, it shouldn't only be because of God. Because when you try to only do things off the strength of God, guess what you fall in? Religion. You feel me? It's a relationship. So therefore, you're doing this for God and you're also doing it for yourself, because you know you continuing doing that thing is going to lead you to hell, away from the person that you're trying to stay faithful to.
Correct. This goes to my next point. Wouldn't that be discipline? If a person comes to say, God, I really want to do this sin. I really want to masturbate. I really want to do this. But because of you, my love and honor, respect of you, I'm not going to do it, even though that desire is in my heart. Isn't that you kind of trusting God, but at the same time having discipline to not do such thing, even though it's in your heart?
So that's good. So discipline, right, is putting your body under subjection to what it needs to do, right? Me crucifying my flesh is me being and walking in discipline still, because it takes discipline to actually put that thing under subjection to you. I understand what you're saying with the suppressing and discipline. Here's the thing about suppression. Suppression means that it's really not there, right? Suppression means, I'm going to act like it's not there. Okay. I'm just going to push it to the back of my head. Right. Discipline understands that I shouldn't do this, so me disciplining myself is me staying away from that thing because I know it's not good for me. Because me, for example, I stay consistent in the gym because I know it's good for my health, not because I want a physique. Okay. I stay in my word not because I want to be a pastor or anything. I do it because that will help my soul. Okay. You feel me? I don't cheat on my girlfriend not only because cheating is wrong. I do it because I love her, number one, and number two, that's sinning against myself. Right. And if I do something stupid in order for me to reject something that's good for me, I'm dumb. Suppressing is, I have this lust. All right, let me listen to music real quick.
So what are you doing in that time?
What?
That like.
So when I'm suppressing?
What do you that example you just give, right? Suppression is, okay, it's there. Let me distract myself, let me put music on, let me do something else. Rather, what would you do in that time to give it to God? Or to
So what I would do, if I'm in a space where that emotion is being suppressed and I'm feeling that emotion, right? What I should do, right, is take it to God. But a lot of times, sometimes I'll be trying to fight for myself, and that's when I fall, right? So mind you, this is how, when I actually take it to God, this is how it looks like. I get out. So perfect example. There was a point in time I felt like doing something. I instantly went to my homegirl's house and I hung out with them, and I you know what I'm saying? They were like my church family. So I went to them. I hung out with them. Boom. Desire gone. Right? I addressed it. And then I also had told one of my mentors to hold me accountable, get that out of my system. Because now when it's out, I'm not suppressing it no more, because I'm addressing it. I'm not ignoring it. Right? But when I'm disciplining it, I'm addressing that this is the problem, and I'm addressing the actions to take to that problem. When I'm suppressing, I'm ignoring the problem and trying to get to the solution without fixing the problem.
So you got to fix the problem.
You got to fix it. Because like I said, if I suppress this water bottle, it's going up. And the thing is, it's not going to come back all the way up. It's slowly going to make its way up there. growing sin.
That's good.
Discipline is this. Yo, you can throw this away from me, Manny? I low-key want to go pick it back. You know what? God, I feel like picking that joint back. Let me call my mentor real quick. Yo, bro, I feel like picking up that water bottle again, bro. All right, cool. Yeah, can we study the Bible or something? Because at that point, I've attacked the issue. Why do I feel this emotion? Okay, what are you looking at? What are you watching? Who are you talking to? What is around you? What is in your circle? Oh, okay, that's probably why you, all right, here, let's do this. Let's pray. Let's get together. Let's do something. I'm addressing the issue. I'm no longer trying to suppress something. And the difference is, not only did I discipline myself, and not only did I take it away, but I gave it to somebody else to go do what it needs to be done with that water bottle. That water bottle can be reused, but if no water gets poured back in that water bottle, it's trash now. You can throw it away. I'm not going to throw it away because guess what I'm going to do? Shoot, I'm still thirsty. Let me go take some tap water and refill this thing real quick. But because I gave it to him, now it's out of my control, and now he has the ability to do whatever he wills with it.
So you gave it to someone.
AKA, I gave it to somebody or I gave it to God.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Let's go back to this one. So we're going to go to the...
I want to ask you this question real quick. Has there ever been a moment in your life where you actually struggled with masturbation? And if you did, how did you cope with it? How did you deal with it? And do those urges still trying to come up? And if they do, how do you fight it?
100%. There's been a time where I used to struggle with it. It was a strong desire. And the reason why is because of what was planted, the seed that was planted in my eyes, in my heart, and also what my eyes was exposed to, right? Because when your eyes is exposed to things, it leads to, masturbation and all that stuff. So that's why I was asking you this question, because when I was going through those experiences, right, and I hated it because after that it makes you feel weak. And now that's when I started praying to God. I'm like, I was getting pissed off at God, actually. I was getting pissed off at God.
You can't say that. You're not allowed to get pissed off at God.
I was actually, because I'm like, I don't like this. I don't want this.
And was it like you was mad at the fact, like what about God made you mad at him? Like what was it that?
It was like, God, you're the King of Kings, Lord of Lords. You have all powers. You can do all things. Just take this desire from me. That's all I was asking. But here's what. He said, in your weakness, I'm your strength.
Yeah, that's good.
Without me, if you feel like you don't need me, you won't come back running to me.
That's good.
And this is not about you. Someone else is going to need this more than you do. So it's what the enemy meant for evil. I'm going to train you and help it so it can turn to be good. What does that mean? It means that you're going to go through this experience right now. You're going to feel this moment right now. Yes, I know I said I will be with you in this moment, but I'm going to strengthen you and help you so you can teach another person who's going to be struggling with this.
That's good.
And because I have used you and equipped you, you can help another man come out of it. What happened was, many times when the enemy comes to me and tempts me with lustfulness, right? Let's say when I used to experience masturbation, I did it. I feel weak. I don't want to talk to God. What am I talking to you for? I feel ashamed. I feel guilty, right? And these are things in my, like, I was feeling, and obviously that was the enemy pointing fingers. Hey, you did this, you did this, you did that, right? And I knew it was wrong. But that's something that I experienced at that time, and I kept crying out to God. There was many nights, bro, I cried. God, take this from me. Take this desire away. That was my prayer. Take this desire away from me. I don't like it. I don't want it. I don't need it. But yet, I was still going through the motion. I was still feeling the experiences, right? And just how I used to love circular music, right? And all those things was also planting seeds in my heart of lust. Because back then, the music we was listening to, we know what it was.
Yeah.
Those music was planting seeds in my heart
Sex, money,
and
murder.
everything. How to think of women, how you see women, how you should treat them, what to say about them, what names you should call them. This was the seeds that was being planted. And this is what things I was exposed to. And because I had muscle memory of it, it was affecting me. So now, instead of God taking the desire quickly of what I was feeling with the whole masturbation thing, rather instead, he was rather focused on the music part. Because that was the main root. I hate music. I hate circular music now. I don't listen to circular music that have curse words in it. I rather instead do worship music. First, it is the roots of something, right? It's not like, oh, you're watching things like all these sites. Those not things I struggle with or anything it is. It maybe if a person, some men when they're bored, they just do things. Yeah. But that's not what it was. It's the roots, the music. Something that your heart desired that the enemy turned to something else.
So really, when you were struggling with it, it wasn't the fact that it was something that you were seeing or you were dwelling on things. It was really what was feeding into your ears.
What was feeding into my head and my thoughts and imaginations.
And then you changed your music.
Changed my music aspect. That helped me a lot. Changing the music.
Right.
Because rather instead, I changed from that to worship music instead. Whenever that desire comes on, this is the easiest. Guys, listen to this. This is a cheat code right here. Right? The easiest way to kill a desire and not suppress it. When a desire comes in your heart, for example, a lustful thoughts, or let's say you're in the bed, you're chilling by yourself, and a desire just pops up in your head, and it starts to stirs up, whatever it's lust, something in your heart to stir things up. This is what you do. One, you pray. Say, Lord, you don't have to pray a crazy prayer. You can lay on your bed and say, God, I'm feeling this right now. And I'm not going to lie to you. I might just fold if you don't come in here and help me.
Right.
Right? I'm being honest with him. I might just fold. If you don't come in here and help me, I'm going to fold. But guess what? Gotta say, just turn that music on. The worship music. The circular music you used to listen to, now let's play worship music. What I'll do is this. I'll play the worship music and just lay there. Do you know how me listening to God's music, you know how it turns me off to commit sin? It just it kills whatever desire.
Yeah, because them worship songs is telling you about God's
exactly.
character.
You don't even have to. You just lay in your bed and just chill. Like worship music playing. You really gonna masturbate thinking about God?
That is. Listen, that's
thinking.
That's
You really gonna masturbate thinking about him? No,
because I go like that's kind of crazy.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Right. That's a way you can. That's an escape.
Yeah.
Remember, God said, "I will never give you something that you cannot bear." Every single temptation, there's an escape for it. There's not one temptation or lust for desire that there's no escape from. And I can name multiple escape. For example, remember the last time when you called me to play ball and I had to come and I confess my sins to you? Bro, I was attacked with the spirit of lust. I had a lust for desire in my heart. And I said to God, if you don't take this away, I'm going to fold. What happened? Ayo calling my phone. Right? That was my prayer. I calling my phone, and guess what I said? Yo, bro, let's flip it. I don't even play basketball, bro. I don't play bro. I'm so bad at playing basketball. Right? Bro, mind you, I don't play basketball. That's when I knew it. Because
it was the Lord.
That moment I prayed, I'm like, yep, this is my escape ticket.
Right, I'm out.
Bro, I drove 30 minutes just to play basketball with Ayo. And I don't even play basketball.
Yo, that is funny.
I don't play basketball.
That's a real life situation.
And what happened when I came? I told you what I was struggling with. So that's when I knew. I'm like, yo, every temptation, whatever is lust, whatever sin it is, There's an escape for it. And on top of that, know that even when you fold, don't stay down.
Thank you, bro.
Right?
Yes.
Don't stay down.
you.
Because guess what? It's not a habit. A habit means something you love doing. I love playing soccer. It's a habit. That's what I love doing. I enjoy it. Right? So if you stay down into your sinfulness, you're telling this is my habit. This is what I like doing. I like to masturbate. I like to lust over women. I like to do all this. This is something you're telling yourself. And guess what? Don't stay down. If you don't stay down, it means it's not your habit. It is just me. You fell short for a quick period of time. You wake back up and chase after God again.
Right. Yeah, the Bible even teaches that. So I wanted to ask this question. So a person, right? Because you spoke about habits. A person who has a...
I was just thinking something.
What you think about, bro? What's up, bro?
Wait, I was just thinking something. If somebody, let's say make this clip short, right? Just cut it out. Say, Loyalty say you like to do this, you like to do I'm screwed. I'm like, yo, this.
That's me. Oh, false prophet.
I was just thinking about it. Somebody really evil going live. Imagine God lifts me up one day. They're going to dig this clip up and just cut everything and only put this Loyalty say you like to do this, you like to do that, like to do this, like to do that. I'm like, yo, I'm screwed. I'm like, go watch the full pod, bro. Go watch the full, but people are not gonna do that.
Yo,
I was just thinking, I'm like, damn, I should have caught myself.
Yo, I'm done. I'm a clip. Loyalty clips.
I'm not gonna get famous. I don't want to get famous no more, bro. I just want to stay down. Bro, I'm being real, bro. That's it.
Oh my God. Yo, that is so real because, yo, that would be crazy. Yo, imagine Loyalty pop up on your feed. I like masturbating. I'm like,
telling you, bro.
I'm like, yo, I feel crazy. Nah,
Listen. Whoever's watching this pod, okay? Because I know the enemy like to use people to do dumb stuff. Don't clip this video and try to get a viral clip out of me. It's not gonna work. All right, please.
Oh my gosh. Whew. All right. Oh my gosh. I wish I had more water.
Man, I can't believe I said this. It's all good, bro. It's good.
All right. To a person who's fallen into this habit of masturbation, what is the worst thing that person could do to themselves? In the moment, like they keep falling in this habit of masturbation. Right, because as we know, habits is things that we continuously do over and over and over and over again. A person falls into the habit of masturbation. What is the worst thing that person can do in that state of mind?
I'm going to tell you the worst thing. People may not like it. The worst thing, right? And the worst thing is what you don't feel like doing. This is what the worst thing you can do in that state of mind when you've committed an act is not turning to God and repenting from it.
That's good.
That's the worst thing. But guess what? You don't want to talk to God after you just commit an act.
Right.
You don't want to talk to him because you feel guilty. But that's the worst thing you can do. Even though you don't feel like talking to him, you should go and talk to him. It don't have to be crazy prayer. It's something you just say out to him in your heart.
God will bless you, my brother.
Right? But that's the worst thing a person can do. Not talking to God and repenting of the action they just committed.
That's good.
Right? But rather staying down, just laying there. because it happens a lot to people.
Yeah, that's good, bro. That's good. I would say, just to answer my own question, the worst thing that you can possibly do is beat yourself up, bro. Also, because I find a lot of the times when I beat myself up, I discourage myself. And not only that, what does the Bible say? So shall my words be that come forth of my mouth, and they shall not return to me void. Which means that I'm damning myself. If I'm in Christ, there's no condemnation in those in Christ Jesus. So why am I condemning myself? Yeah, you fell. Yeah, you messed up. Yeah, you shouldn't have did that. Yeah, you shouldn't have linked up with that girl at that night. Yeah, you shouldn't have said that to that person. But don't condemn yourself. You shouldn't sit there and beat yourself up for anything that you are literally your nature. Your nature is literally like you want to sin. That's our nature. So therefore, because that's in our nature, we have to learn how to give ourselves grace. This is something that is hard for me to do. Is to give myself grace. There's a lot of times where I'll be, I should stop. But at the end of the day, here's the beautiful part about what you're doing. Even in the midst of you beating yourself up, even in the midst of you falling, you care.
That is good.
You care.
You care.
Because think about it, bro. In the world, you go back to sleep. Ain't no talking. Ain't no conversation with God. You don't feel no wrong.
Right.
But the fact that you did it, and the first thing that you said in your heart was, I should have did that. God, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You care.
That's good, bro.
At least you care.
Yeah.
So when you beat yourself up, bro, let's cut that out today. Let's look at ourselves and be like, bro, this could have been me a couple years ago who would not care about how God is feeling. But because I did this, I know it probably hurt God. And to understand that God's not mad at you that you did that. It's the fact that, dang, I didn't want that to happen to you, my son. Here, come on. Let's talk.
All right.
But at least you care, bro.
It shows reverence.
It shows reverence. It shows humility. It shows proof that your heart is literally running after God. Because I'm not going to lie. If you're in this walk and you sin and you don't feel bad,
You're numb.
you're numb, which is a problem. And it's scary. Because for those who don't feel bad after they sin, I feel scary and I feel burdened about where your soul's going to end up. And that's the truth of the matter, bro.
I know we have maybe 5 minutes, but I want to talk about something. So, it's masturbation we're talking about, right? Let's go to the church. This is about the church. Why is it that Christians love to avoid the topic when it comes to masturbation? They don't like to talk about it.
Loyalty, so you trying to be a clip, and now you want me to be a clip. they trying to make me turn into, okay, I'll tell you the reason. Because they doing it. Whatever you don't correct, you justify. Whatever you speak, think about it. Let's talk about Pharisees. I just learned yesterday when they came to Jesus and said, why do your disciples transgress the law? They don't wash their hands before they eat.
I was just reading that too.
You know there was never a law in the law of Moses that had anything to do with washing your hands when you was eating? They made that up. Huh? Oh, okay, so what you trying to do is you're trying to look more religious than everybody. That's why you hide all those open wounds behind that suit and tie, behind that pulpit. And you lay hands on people. And then they fall out, not because they caught the Holy Spirit, but because they caught your burden that you've been hiding from. So what are we talking about? So yeah, the church, the reason why they don't talk about it, check that pastor's search history. Let's talk about it.
Ain't gonna be Bible history.
That's just,
Ain't gonna
I'm just
be
saying, listen, clip me if you want, but that's the truth. They doing it. Because look, let's be honest, bro. When religion is in your heart, you do religious things. You don't talk about the things you go through because then you'll be condemning yourself. Why do you think King James didn't write the Bible? He authorized it and used different authors because he was gay and understood if he wrote it himself, he'd be condemning himself.
Really, I ain't know all that.
So why in the world would I speak on something when I'm doing it? You're religious. That's why you don't talk about it. That's why we don't talk about sex. That's why we don't talk about porn. That's why we don't talk about masturbation. That's why we don't talk about smoking. And we wonder why the people of Christ are literally walking through darkness right now because none of this is being talked about.
That's real. That's true, man. Man, but we have to come up with a solution. We cannot just talk without a solution.
Listen.
There have to be a solution, right?
There is a solution, and that solution will be coming out in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, man. Hey, listen, if y'all enjoyed this video, leave a like and make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Go back.
Guys, if you enjoy this content we're making, just make sure you follow us on all our social right there. And
Smash that like button and hit that subscribe.
And if y'all want more content like this, make sure you follow us all on our social, the link below.
That sounded crazy. Wait. The link below. Thank you guys so much for watching, man. Hey, listen, if y'all enjoyed that video, leave a like and make sure y'all hit that subscribe button down below.
And if y'all want more content like this, make sure you follow us on our social, the link will be below.
Hey, man, we out of here.
We out. Peace.